All right, so here it is. Look at that. So this is, I bought this guitar about 25 years. No, I think I bought it. It says it's a 2002. I thought it was a 2001. Probably was 2002. I bought this. So my Les Paul story is I was I was always kind of a super strat guy. Like I had Kramer's. I had a 70s Strat that I had put a JB in the bridge and a Floyd Rose on. I had a Kramer Beretta, and I had another Kramer guy that was like my mentor that moved out to Florida when I was a kid was from Kramer, so I was very integrated into the Kramer ecosystem. But and I thought Les Pauls were lame, man. Especially those silver burst ones. I remember another guy from the music store I worked at, Captain's Music, centrally located in beautiful downtown Pompano Beach, Florida. He had a silver burst, and I remember one time picking it up and playing it for like probably a second and being like, this is the most horrible thing I've ever felt. The neck felt like a boat. Like, I don't know, the action was high. It just sounded like to me. So anyway, I get in this band, and the other guitar player is kind of was a student of mine who became a good friend of mine, really good friend of mine, Joey Garcia from Brooklyn. So he has his band Little Sister in Fort Lauderdale, and he's like, he's like, come play guitar with us. I'm like, okay. And he had two Jubilee stacks and a silver burst Les Paul. And he was into it, man. Like he was really into the whole sound of it and and this and that. And I want to say I had two, I don't know, maybe JCM 900 half stacks. I don't remember. It could have even been MOSFETs. Like I went through a phase where I was playing MOSFETs, whatever. So, and I've got my black Strat, my 70s Strat with the Floyd Rose and the JB in the bridge, and like that's like to me, I was like bringing it. Well, anyway, I show up to the first rehearsal, and I couldn't I couldn't accept the fact that he was killing me at practice. His sound was like, it was just incredible, man. And it was like, and I was like, you know, I don't know if anybody, like sometimes like we get these ideas of like what we think is like right or this is how it is. And then when we're like confronted with like an alternate way of thinking, it's I can naturally rebel sometimes, be like, oh, whatever I was thinking. Oh, he's got tens and I had nines. I don't know what I was thinking, but I remember that day, and then I picked up his guitar and I plugged it into my rig, and it sounded so much better than my Strat. And it was that black Strat that I still have. But now I've conformed that back into a normal Strat. I put a new pickguard on it and Fralins. But it used to have a telly lipstick in the neck drilled into the body. No middle pickup, because that's where I like to pick. I know that the three pickup thing was like, eh. And this JB in the bridge. Anyway, I played it and I was like, oh man, I don't know. But from that day, and that was like probably late 90s, mid 90s, it was in my mind. It was like my my reality bubble was not completely burst, but it was leaking heavily, and I was still playing, the guitars I was playing. And I moved back out to LA in 2000, and I was like kind of working at a music store and like going to see bands, and like everybody's playing like JCM 800 half stacks and Les Pauls. You know, all the sleazy rocker dudes of Hollywood. It was still the layover from the Guns N' Roses, LA Guns, kind of Faster Pussycat days. But anyway, to make a long story short, I go into Guitar Center. I thought it was 2001. Maybe it was 2002. I went in to buy strings, and I saw this hanging up. And I was like, hey, let me check out that guitar. Yeah, because I was already teaching voice. So it probably was 2002. Because I had money to buy this. And I played it. I was like, oh, you know what? This is cool. Like, I'm going to buy this. And I bought it. And I came home. And I hated the paint on the back. Because the neck on my Strat is all been sanded off. It's all wood. So I did this. I don't know if you can see it, but I sanded this off the first night I bought it. Brand new Les Paul Standard. And I'll never forget, I woke up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, what if I hate this guitar? Like, oh, now I'm like stuck with it. Anyway, needless to say, this became my band guitar. And the old Super Strat and Kramer days were behind me. They were in the rearview mirror. And this guitar has kind of been brought back. I had a WB Fire in the bridge for like basically 20 years. Like a 14K, and I was, doing the modded Marshall Uberschall thing. And I just wanted to change it up, so I took it into Dion at Guitar Center about 2 weeks ago, and we put a set of custom buckers in here. Owning a couple of those Pete Thorne Sir guitars, which didn't really jive with my thing. I started to appreciate lower output pickups. So anyway, so I get the Duncan custom buckers in here, and they're nice. Really way different experience than what it's been. So, but the tuning machines, oh my God. Yeah, there they are. Can you see them? That's last night at Dion's shop. It's the old school plastic, Anyway, so I've got Maya Cameron in from Canada, and I was trying to use this, and it was just the G1 was not even moving. It was like frozen. I thought I was going to break it. The A1 was kind of frozen. I couldn't figure out if the nut was like, if they were getting hung up at the nut, or if something was slipping. Like, I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I put the guitar down, and I didn't use it yesterday because it was just, I just didn't want to deal with it. I had her sitting here, like, I had to keep moving. So after she left for the day, I called Dion, and I'm like, hey man, I said, I got these Grover tuners in my Epi, and they're amazing, and I've got these stock vintage style tuners in my Les Paul Standard, and they suck. I said, man, I want to talk to you. I want to get Grovers put on here, and I also want to have the nut slots double checked to make sure everything's passing, because I feel like either it's getting hung up, or I don't know. I can't figure out if it's just a tuning machine. So he sends me a picture. He's like, I got a set right here. So I shoot down there. I might add, with the rain, it was quite a journey at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever, or 4:30 yesterday to get down to Guitar Center. Oh my God. But anyway, so I get down there, and he's got this set of Grovers. So here's him starting to take off the machine heads. There's my black Les Paul with no machine heads. Yeah, they're down here, and there's with the new machine heads. Anyway, so he stretched them out, played them, and I was like doing them, and I was like, oh yeah, we checked it. He nut sauced it too, but the nut was fine. So there you go. It's kind of like story morning. So here's the other thing. So when I first had this idea to start using 2 amps and both with their effects loops, and so I'm running into the FM9. So if you look here, this is basically like the software of the Axe effects. So you'll see in 3, out 3, this send return. It's just like a big chain. This here is a big chain of stereo effects, right? We got flanger, chorus, phaser, rotary, pitch, delays, reverbs. This was going stereo into the effects loops of the amps, and it was really great. And then I had an idea. I was like, I kind of want, I really part of me wanted like a deluxe memory man, and there was one for sale on Facebook Market this week with the detached 24 volt. I was so tempted, but I just can't bring myself to it because this is fine. But I had set up another string here of mono in and out of a mono through 1 that I could then put in front. So in a sense, it's like a 4-cable method. So I'm coming out the amps and I'm going, like, let's say right now I've got the 77 and the XTC. I'm going in and out, left and right through this stereo chain right here. You see, in 3, out 3. This whole thing here is just stereo. And that was going through the loop, which was great. Then I was coming out of my pedals and I was going into 1, and then I was going out 1 and into the radial, that was then splitting out to the amp. So this chain here was a mono in front. So I could set up like a deluxe mind guy. I could put like a memory man kind of recreation in front, or I could have a flanger in front, or whatever, I could use an overdrive. This would be then in front. And I figured out how to do it, and it worked. The problem was it was creating some ground looping, because I was going in and out of these amps twice through the FM9. I was getting a little bit of buzz. I was getting some weird things, so I ended up deleting this out. But now I've been using these reloads, and I'm using those as my effects loop. So now I've got my 77 into the reload, and then the reload into Pro Tools, but also out of the reload is going into the left side of the FM9. And then the same thing with the XTC, into the reload, into the right side, and then into Pro Tools. And I thought, I wonder if now, like, everything's cool, like I could still do 1 in front, because now these are not like directly plugging, these effects loop stereo are not directly plugging into the amp itself. Well, I set it up and it works. And I got the level exactly. So I recorded, here's I think a little matchless. Here's in front, here's just plugged in with no Axe effects in front. And then I went, and then when you plug in the Axe effects in front and everything's at unit, it's hotter, it's more gainy. It sounds nice, but it's a little more gainy. So anyway, I trickle down to this. Which is virtually the same as not having it in line. So now I've got Axe effects in line and in the loop. So here's in line. Right, so here's in line with the right, get rid of that, and now this is the delay, a mono or an analog mono. This is now in the loop of both. So, if you're confused on this, you can obviously post up down on the bottom. But there it is. So that was the other thing. Now yesterday, this is going to be a long video, but it's entertaining, I guess. Yesterday, we tracked. So all right, so this video came out. There's a new XTC, a new Bogner XTC that's coming out. It's just starting to ship. It's called a 104. So this is there was the 100, then there was the 101B, 101B, 101A, 101B, 101A American had 6L6s, 101B British has EL34s. The 101B was the popular one. That's the one that like all the session guys used. That's what I have here, a 101B. So if I come here and I shut off the 77, we'll just go up the middle. This is going to get great. So I'm straight in. I've got a little EQ and a little woodshed compressor. So watching the 104 videos yesterday, 2 days ago, and I called Reinhold and we talked, and the amp is nice. It's very versatile. It sounds great. I mean, it sounds great, and it kind of gets, everywhere from like clean to all different iterations of like mid breakup, edge of breakup, to plexi, to JMP, to modded Marshall, up to like almost not quite as far maybe as an Ubershaw, but it gets way more high gain than I would ever use. It's got a channel now called Channel 0. I'm not going to get into that amp. But listening to the clips, I'm wondering if I can like get more out of mine, right? So yesterday, I've been really just using the Marshall and the matchless, and I said, well, let me shut the matchless off. Let me try the Marshall and this Bogner, my XTC, my 101B. So I came to. So here's like my clean channel. This is channel 1 in my Bogner. Maybe I should turn this up a little bit. Turn it up! Right? And then I thought, I wonder, like, because I watched a couple videos. I talked to some friends of mine too that have the amp right now. Like they have the first run that they're demoing and doing videos with. And I thought, let me go. So I said, in the green channel, I said, I know that there's a boost. So this is the green channel, which is channel 1. It's a nice kind of generic, not generic, but just a nice clean. But then if I go to the boost, I play a little harder too. Maybe put a little bit of analog, man. I was like, okay. So now to my friends that are like into like, modded Marshalls and blow your head off, that's going to be like, oh, that's really great, Lugo. I'm so excited. But when you do what I do for a living, these are sounds that are on a daily. I use this more than I use high gain. I'm in Nashville. I'm doing pop mostly, pop country, alternative, pop rock, some rock, but nothing crazy. So I used this yesterday. Yeah. So that's channel 1 with the boost in on. I've got more. I can add more gain, right? this thing was literally strung last night. But anyway, so that was like, oh. So I thought that was great. So this is all channel. Turn the gain up. Little analog man. Little blues driver. I love that. Now bring the gain back down. And now go back to boost on low. You know, you put your Strat in there and a little chorus, and you got, you know, message in a book. Anyway, that's it. So that was really exciting, right? Because like I'm really just focusing on trying to get the hang of what I'm doing with what I've got. Novel concept. So here we go. So this is 77 on the left, and Bogner XTC in channel 1 clean on the right. Always check the polarity. Just because, you know, sometimes things go weird. It's, you know, even though I was using this last night, I just can't, I have to check it. Yeah, there you go, you're good. But just to double check, make sure we're good. So there it is. So anyway, there it is. So there's like my 77, my JMP, like, you know, kind of on gain on 4, and this Bogner clean. Put that Bogner, the clean now on like boot. A little louder now over there. I have to make adjustments. Anyway, that is just where I'm at. Right? And then you can come here. You know, I did a little of this on one of the tracks, a little split. Very good. Now, put them on standby. And put this up. Oh my God. You know, let me tell you something. I bought I'm friendly with Greg Wells, the big pop producer. Like, you know, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga kind of dude. He sold me his ecstasy maybe 2004, 5, long time ago. I think I was in Hollywood at the time. And I had that at home, and man, I had that at the studio, and I could not get rid of that quick enough. That thing, I hated that thing. You know, speaker excursion, pre-EQ, post this, thumb switch, what, you know, just like whoa, just get me to a JCM 800 or whatever. But being inspired by this Dan Huff stuff that I've been learning about and watching, and then, you know, just trying to like like open my mind a little bit, not be so closed-minded. And I got this amp. It's beautiful. It's like brand new. I mean, it's a 2013. The guy had just tubed it and had it biased and gone through. It's like brand new. And I got it and I was like, oh my God, why did I do this again? Why did I do this again? But I've been sticking at it, and now I'm getting really good sounds with it. The other thing too is like, I don't know, like if I'm really going to ever be a dude that records with cabs again. I'm just enjoying the way this is set up now. And I'm not using the cab. I haven't used the cab in probably a month. Because I'm really gotten good at the reloads, and I've gotten good with the software, and it's just so beautiful to like just be working and not hearing the guitar in the room, and and all the low end and the because now I can make decisions on the fly. I work a lot quicker, a lot more. It's just more fun. At the end of the day, it's more fun. Let's see. Okay, so and here's a little song that we tracked yesterday. This is 2 more minutes. I know it's a long video, but I just kind of wanted to go. So this is a song called "Do What You Do" or "What Do You Do." So again, here we go back to this is Maya's one of her songs. Here's Tarek's drums. It's you know what this reminds me of? Every one of these intros, I always hear something like, listen, with the mother sucker. I don't know, it's like a 70s tune to the mother sucker. So Tarek, Mr. Tarek Iredella, the only drummer named after chocolate, he grew up like on Rush, really, and like all like like kind of drumming. Not really, but you know what I mean. He's very much a drummer guy. So over the last 15 years that we've become best friends, and we've been playing together in bands and recording and session stuff, it's been a beautiful thing to watch the plane land down into this, which is a different thing, right? So there's a meme. It's a picture, and it shows a drummer, and it's like musical notes everywhere, and he's like and the guy's with him. It's like a producer, and he's like, "You're amazing." And then the picture under it is the same drummer with the same guy or whatever, and he's like, boom, bah, and he's like, "You're hired." So this is like You're Hired drums, unedited from a click. It's like like a couple of bars comped from another pass, but that's it. No lining up, no beat detective, no samples, just raw boom bap. I'll even play the click. It's a little, this could, there's going to be a little push and pull because it's human, but here you go. Yeah, man. Tarek's on it. All right, my bass, my beautiful, brilliant bass playing, not. Little my scratch piano playing. This song started out, there was a tune in the early 2000s. It was like 2010, and it was like an indie pop girl, and the band was like going down like a little river on like on like a pontoon, or like almost like a little like wooden raft, and it had a very kind of nerd pop thing, and this is what inspired me to feel this. So once I had an idea for a guitar to go, you know, and when I did that, it sounded like the Everly Brothers or something. I don't know. It just didn't seem right. It didn't seem right. And let me just let my way. It was a challenge. And I wish that if you guys were there, you would have seen that I came up with this idea. So was my idea, which was not working. That was not going to work. That was just too, I don't know. It just sounded like, I don't know. So I thought, we got to get like movement legato. So I said, hey, Maya, here's the acoustic guitar. Play the song as you originally used to sing and play it. And she just started strumming, quarter notes or eighth notes on the guitar, on the acoustic. Okay, so what I did was I brought my acoustic in, my Taylor. I just plugged in, this is just a scratch acoustic just to get movement. And I added this. Took away all the boom, bat, boom, back, because without it almost reminded me of Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan, which I love that song. That's like one of my all-time, but it had a very like 70s bicycle built for two kind of Queen, like all like the kind of the post Paul McCartney, I don't know, just like, I don't know, a little Yellow Submarine or something. Once I put the acoustic in, then it was like, oh, very different. Then I was like, well, let me try. I want to put I thought of it as like a flood guitar, which was just something to kind of be underneath it, like almost like what's that thing though? Is it a harmonium? I don't know. That box or whatever that they have at like yoga classes, like kind of just giving the sound. And then I did this with the guitar, and this was the Epiphone through the 77 and the XTC. So you take out those, and now you've got that, da 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 da, I was 18 years old. My father rest his soul. I cry every time I hear the song. Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan, most beautiful song. So anyway, back to it. Here we go. And I was like, okay. And with her vocal, it cruised. Like, it was like, now which I don't want to play her vocal. We've got to finish all this, and then you're going to hear it. But now, and not because she didn't sing good, just because we have to get, all the publishing copyright. I don't want to play it. So then I thought, let me put this other guitar. This was the guitar intro. This is like a little guitar lead. So this is the thing that's funny about this whole experience of Maya and this record, is that when I met her, she was talking all about country and Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood and all this kind of stuff, and she was all and then once we started working together, I'm like, I don't know, man, she's kind of like a pop kid, not even like I don't even know, like an indie pop kid, with some country leanings, but it's not, certain people you hear Lainey Wilson just sounds like country, which, yeah, because her voice is very, very Southern, and, it's just like, yeah. With this, it was different. So anywhere that I can add a little of this flavor, because she does like this. So here it is, beginning with the flood guitar acoustic and the little, like, you know, renegade guitar solo. So, for my guitar shredder friends and my high gain guys, this is reality for me, and it's cool. Now all of a sudden, as we progress down, I think I did octaves later on down the line. Let me see what this is. So you hear the juxtaposition, because it's like I was starting to get like zombie vibes, like, you know, Cranberries, little like kind of not grunge, but like a different thing. And the bridge is definitely like I went in a different direction in the bridge. I thought I really liked the way it came out. But now with all this in place, I was like, let me try bringing back in my initial, because I still like that idea. It's just, it was too barren for it in the beginning. So here it is now with the stab guitar. So there it is. Then you come to the chorus. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. You've got your octave. Now the stab guitars have changed, right? They're you know, I've been here, so here's just the guitars. And this is where this XTC was really nice. It was really working out good, man. This is the 77, the XTC. I'm moving around guitars, the Gretches on the octaves, back to the Epiphone on this secondary part on the guitar, but I put in the split harmonizer and did a different pickup configuration. So here it coming in. So kind of hearkening to, like, I don't know, like, hey jealousy, like a little of that kind of tonic. I'm getting like a 90, like, I don't know, you know, you get older and you keep doing this, and then it's like it all starts flooding in especially when the pressure is on. So now we go to this bridge, and we'll just I think open everybody up. That's a little loud, but that's that part. Yeah, this has the split harmonizer on it. A little loud within this. You bring it in. And then back to the ending. So there you go. And again, all these tracks are raw. There's no software, there's no plugins, there's no EQs, there's no compression, there's no gates, there's nothing. The only little effects is whatever I'm using when I'm tracking the guitars. And right now I'm just doing all stereo guitars because I figure I can pan them or split them, or, you know, take out the XTC or take out the 77. I just have them. And they're all IRs. Everything is IRs, all the same IRs. So I can mess around with switching out to different IRs. So that's the arc of that song, which, remember, kind of starts here. Yeah. And a lot of Epiphone on this guitar song because my Les Paul was, my black Les Paul was wounded in action. So we'll pull the black one out today. I got to take these kids to school because as a dad, that's a big thing. Get them to school on time so you don't have to deal with drama. No drama-rama. So anyway, kind of a multi-purpose video.